Okay, guys, in this video, I want to talk to our uniqueness as individuals and just why that's really special. You've heard it said, there's only one you, right? And that's special. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't even really like the idea of like some of us are weird. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know there can be some out of the ordinary hobbies or tendencies that we do that can be a little weird. And obviously, if you want some real, just devious or freaky stuff that's just, you know, really out of the norm of social norms, then, and to the point where it's like disturbing to society, I'd say, yeah, you're weird and you probably need to reevaluate yourself. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about some like real, just crazy stuff, okay? But weird things like, I'll give an example of myself. One of my weird things is, so I personally still like action figures. Okay, I'm still into action figures. Part of it is because I do animations with those things. Stop motion animation, particularly if you haven't heard of it. It's where you gotta take materials, in the real world. In this case, for me, being action figures, and you animate them and compile those pictures together to make film, just like traditional animation with cartoons. Just it's with actual tangible objects in the real world that you can touch and see. That's the only difference. But yeah, I like action figures. I still enjoy my cartoons and superheroes and stuff like that. um and so that's the kind of weird I'm talking about. you know Weird where maybe you like Magic the Gathering, maybe you like Dungeons and Dragons. We're all unique, and so I don't feel like it's appropriate to call our niches weird. Again, unless you want some real freaky stuff, and you know what I'm talking about, when I'm mentioning that kind of thing. Um, but all of our little niches and quirks and whatever, even maybe some of the foods we don't like or do like, our social tendencies, how we interact with the world around us, we are and our personalities in general. Some of us love to be funny. Some of us love to be more quiet. Some of us are introverts. Some of us are extroverts. Some of us like dark humor. Some of us like light humor. Um, we are all different in our own unique way, and that's the beautiful thing I think about life is we are all different and unique. And there's people who are like us, which is the beautiful thing. We can find our people who relate to us. Like I said, I like action figures, cartoons, stuff like that. I have homies that are into the same things, and that's a beautiful thing. And there's something for people who like Magic the Gathering. There are, people who can find people who are, the funniest people, and they, get along with the funny people. You know, there is people we attract because of who we are, and vice versa. And even the people that we can relate to, and we do have similar quirks and hobbies and interests that we may, find mutually agreeable. What's still beautiful is there is still, even then, some little things here and there about us that still make us different from that person, such as maybe even something like our upbringing, for example. But that's what's beautiful, is that you, me, all of us across the world are different people, different upbringings, different likes and interests and pursuits in life. And it's just beautiful when we come together, with our differences, and just, I think it helps us open our eyes to just how beautiful the world is. I think it's a beautiful thing that there's so many different people. Even if, whatever they like or whatever they're interested in, I'm maybe not into or whatever, or maybe their upbringing was different than mine. I think that's beautiful. And so I would just say embrace your uniqueness, because maybe someone who thinks that's weird, maybe doesn't like you. Um, that's just one, person or group of people. But then there will be people who will think you're awesome and interesting, and be you. Because, like I said, there's people for you who will like you for who you are. And that's what keeps the world interesting, is because all of us are different. And that's beautiful. So keep being you, because there's only one of you, and you add interest into this world by being who you are. You're different than somebody else across the world. You're probably different than me. And that's what makes this world interesting. So keep being you, and don't change unless it's to better yourself, of course, as a person. Of course, like, let's try to do that. But keep being you, and thank you for watching.